Hello everyone, thank you for clicking into this video. Today, me and my group member will be presenting about business finance. I'm Muhammad Buhakari. Let me introduce you guys to the liquidity ratio summarized of the three bear hat. First, we got Industronic bear hat. In 2022, the current ratios will be 1.26 and the quick ratio will be around 0.89, but in 2023 only 1 year it jumped to 1.55 in current ratio and 1.34 in quick ratio. Well, we could say in liquidity improved but still moderate, need more comfortable cash position. Next one, we have Kobe bear hat. In 2022, its current ratio is 2.06 and the quick ratio will be 1.16. But in 1 year, it jumped to 2.29 in current ratio and 1.06 decreased a little bit in quick ratio. Well, compared to that, we could say it has a strong liquidity in both years, but still too dependent in inventory. Last one, we have Genetic bear hat, which is the highest of them all in current ratio in 2022. It has 1.98 in current, and in quick ratio it has 1.60, but in just one short year its current ratio jumped high into 4.44 and the quick ratio will be 4.24. It has a very strong liquidity jump of the three companies. Extremely strong short-term cash ability. So, in conclusion, if you're asking me which company you should choose, I would say let's choose Genetic bear hat. Next, I will pass it to Ng Yijing.
Thank you, Bukhari, and now I will be taking over to talk about the asset management summaries. First is Industronics Berhad. They are doing better than 2022. They now have faster inventory turnover and collections. The first is inventory turnover ratio. It has increased from 2.79 times in 2022 to 4.83 times in 2023. It means that their inventory has now moved faster. They have now adjusted to the stronger demand and better inventory control, and now they have lower holding costs. The next one is total asset turnover ratio. It has increased from 0.57 times to 0.77 times, meaning that they now generate higher revenue. And the average collection period has decreased from an average of 220 days to 160 days. And that means that the company now are able to collect the payments faster. And it implies improved credit management and a stronger cash flow. The next one is Kobe Technology Berhad. They have the slowest turnovers but the fastest collection periods. The inventory turnover has decreased from 1.90 to 1.69, showing that they have a slower movement of goods due to a weaker market demand. The total asset turnover has also decreased from 0.62 times to 0.56 times, but their average collection period has improved from 88 days down to 84 days. And now for Genetic Technology Berhad, they have the highest turnover efficiency and a strong asset utilization. Their inventory turnover has improved from 4.55 times to 6.20 times. The total asset turnover has increased from 0.56 times to 0.74 times, and the average collection period has decreased from 241 days to 183 days. And that means that the company now uses less days to collect their payments. Next, I will be talking about the debt management summaries. Industronics Berhad has a lower debt and a good interest coverage. Their total debt ratio has decreased from 0.68 times to 0.55 times, and their times interest earned ratio has increased from 5 times to 13.33 times. Kobe Technology Berhad has a low debt, but they are falling behind in their interest coverages. Their total debt ratio has decreased from 0.34 to 0.33 times. And their times interest earned ratio has dropped alarmingly from 37.4 to just 12.3 times. And now for Genetic Technology Berhad, they have the lowest debt ratio out of the three, and they have very high interest coverage. Their total debt ratio has dropped from 0.45 times to 0.19 times, and their times interest earned ratio has declined from 33.08 to 22.31 times. And now for the profitability summaries. Industronics Berhad has returned their profit to at a modest level, at a middle ground. Their net profit margin has moved from a net loss, a negative 8.02%, to a positive margin, 4.52%. The return on assets have improved from a negative 5.88% to now 2.85%. Their return on equity ratio has also returned from a negative percentage, from negative 18.10% to a positive 6.32%. Kobe Technology Berhad, their profitability has declined, but they are still positive instead of negative. Their net profit margin has fell from 14.5% to 8.5%, and their return on assets have fallen from 9% to 4.7%, and their return on equity has also fallen from a 14.1% to just 6.7%. And Genetic Technology Berhad, comparing to the other two companies, have the highest margin, return on assets, and return on equity. The net profit margin has fallen slightly from 26% to 13%, and their return on assets have increased from a 14.6% to 17.1%, and their return on equity has increased from 20.5% to 23.9%. Comparing all these three summaries together, asset management, debt management, and profitability, the one company that performed the best out of all of those is Genetic Technology Berhad. And now I will leave it to Alexander to go into more detail into why we should choose the company to invest in, why it is more recommended.
Hello, Miss. Next, I'll be talking about why should we choose Genetic Technology Berhad. Well, first one is strongest profitability. Its net profit margin, ROA and ROE, are the highest among all companies, which is the best of the best, which basically indicates that it is efficient in its operation and it has excellent management performance. Second is lowest financial risk. It has the lowest debt ratio, which is 19%, and it has a very stable and low leverage. And you also have high times interest earned, which basically means that it has strong ability to cover interest costs. Third, exceptional liquidity. It has very high current ratio, which is 4.44 times, and the quick ratio of 4.24 times, which means that Genentech is highly capable of meeting short-term obligations. And finally, its effective asset utilization. It has the highest inventory turnover, strongest improvement in total asset turnover from the other companies, and it shows that Genentech uses its resources efficiently to generate the best revenue. Next is the final conclusion. All in all, based on its full financial ratio for 2023, Genentech is the strongest company, which we concluded. It demonstrates the most exceptional liquidity, highest efficient asset management, low financial risk due to minimum leverage, and superior profitability and returns to shareholders. Compared to Industronic Berhad and Kobe Technologies, Genentech shows the most consistent and stable growth out of the three, and which is why we had chosen it and what we recommend to be an investment choice for shareholders seeking strong financial performance with lower risk. And all in all, thank you for listening, Miss.